Do you watch wrestling?
Show ends. We leave. Now, Brido and Victoria had gotten there in a cab, and...
Which I didn't even know at that point.
Oh, I didn't know.
I just know we were driving on a lot, and we waved at them, and they waved back.
Yeah.
They used a service called Uber.
Yeah. And then they couldn't get picked back up.
And I've seen Uber work before, but there's been plenty of times where...
They couldn't get picked back up, but they had any number of cab options. But because their preferred method
I don't know why you're still hot about this. I don't know why you were hot about it in the front. I mean, it sucked that we had to go back.
Well, here's what
you know
happened.
what? If I was like 15 beers deep, I'd be like, absolutely, we'll pick up everyone. But if you're stone sober, it's late, and you've been at wrestling all night, you want to fucking go home and go to bed.
Point taken.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Easily.
And if I pick them up, never mind.
Mike, Victoria, I was happy to come back.
Of course you were. You were happy to have fun in the back seat on your phone, make some jokes.
None of us wanted to go back.
At all.
But...
Well, me, I was being a dick.
Tom was the only one sticking to his guns. we were just pulling on the 101, and we got the call, and Brido's like, dude, we can't get a cab to come here. Is it at all possible? Like, I'll give you gas money. I'll give you whatever.
I was in the mood to be like, that sucks. Good luck.
And
the 101.
And unfortunately, to be honest with the kids, at first you said, dude, we just got on the freeway. I don't think we can come. And he's like, no, it's fine. I hang up the phone, and immediately we're like, we got to go back.
I hope I said that.
No, Matt said it.
I said it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vince.
Well, just because I didn't say it, that's what I'm saying. I can't take credit for it. I was sitting back there.
Do you remember how I reacted to that?
All right. In your defense, Tom, now that I think about what happened, you said...
We got to go back, don't we?
No, you said, are we going to go back? And I said, we have to go back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got off the next exit, and we called Brido and said, dude, we're coming back.
For the record, I'm giving you a hard time, but I by no means think that you were like,
Vince,
being an asshole.
come on, I know.
There was so much opportunity for them to have already been in the car. It's strange that it worked out the way that it did.
Yes.
You know?
Everything was leading
to a big finish. You know,
We didn't know. We did not know.
Biggest spot of the night.
The biggest spot of the night was yet to come. I mean, we saw such spectacular athletics and aerobatics and all sorts of manner of brutality that we had no idea the emotion that we were about to feel.
Because you would think we were depleted.
So we're driving back from the 101, and for some reason, it felt like it took about 5 times as long to get back to the venue.
It was probably my terrible energy that I was just pouring into the car.
I mean, I felt it, brother. Time was moving slow, and we finally get back there. They're the only ones left in the parking lot. Everyone's
like
gone.
A couple of idiots. Like
Larry's gone. His Jughead assistant is gone. NWO Paul O'Neill. So I won't say why I got out of the car. I got out of the car real quick, and then they hop in. They're in the back seat. Now,
no one can guess why you got out of the car. Go ahead.
I'm in the front seat. Tom's driving. Vince is in the back. Victoria's in the back. Brido's in the back. Victoria's sitting in the middle. Victoria's a beautiful black woman, and she has a gigantic afro.
No joke. Huge afro.
Huge afro. We're driving on Reseda Boulevard, and I see a guy kind of finishing crossing the street. And Reseda Boulevard is a big boulevard. We're talking probably, 2 lanes of traffic on either side and a turning lane in the middle. So, and with a pretty significant shoulder for parking on the side. So it's a very wide road. I see a guy finish crossing the street, and I'm just kind of glancing at him.
Not at an intersection.
Not at an intersection, in the middle of the road, middle of the street, 1 o'clock. Now it's probably close to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody's around.
That's jaywalking anywhere in the country.
Just jaywalking, and there's really no other traffic.
It's fine. It's very desolate. You can jaywalk. It's not that big of a deal to see someone jaywalking at this time.
Although I was surprised at the lack of vehicles on that road with how big of a street it was. I don't recall there being a lot of other traffic.
Not a lot of other traffic. It was
They piled up behind us, believe you me.
late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And I'm looking out the left side of the car past Tom, past the driver. And then I hear Tom say, "Whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" And my first thought is, and this is all happening in matters of seconds, kids. My first thought is, why is he freaking out about that guy that just finished crossing the street? He's already passed the car. Then I look in front of us, and there's a woman. How old? 40?
Pushing 40.
Yeah.
Although that may have just been some hard times on her face. She might not even have been.
She had a lot of extra miles on her face, but this was not a homeless woman.
No.
Right.
Not homeless.
Not a crazy.
Very tired face.
Been through some shit that night. You could
Yes.
see.
Very
mascara streaming down.
No shoes.
Crying, wearing, black shirt and jeans, whatever. She has her cell phone in her hand.
Coming down the lane at us, walking at us.
She's walking diagonal. And at first I'm thinking, oh, God, this drunk bitch is trying to cross the street, but on an angle. And I think I realized it before Tom did. She wasn't trying to cross the street. She was making a beeline for our car.
Feel that anxiety in you right now? You feel that?
As soon as she approached, then Tom goes, and then I'm like, whoa, what the, whoa. Yeah. And Tom's like, what the, is she coming toward, and then he hits the brakes.
No.
Now, well, you start veering off.
I try to juke around her.
Right.
She jukes with me.
We tried to right with us.
We tried to switch lanes. Now we're in the middle. Now she's actively walking. Boom. Now she's in front of the car. Now we're at a stop. And she has her hands on the hood and is screaming, "Hit me. Hit me, fucking run me over, hit me." Banging her hands on the hood.
She's dead serious.
Like
everyone in the car is freaking out.
Everyone is screaming, and this is all in a matter of seconds. So then Tom's like, "Oh my God, what do I do? Do I go in reverse?" I'm like, yeah, just go in reverse. He throws it in reverse. There is a beautiful black woman in the back seat with a giant afro sitting in the middle.
Couldn't see a
he cannot see a thing out of the rear view mirror. So he's just normally you would just gun it.
Cars were pulling behind us.
Yeah,
it was dangerous for me to go reverse.
Now there was other traffic, and it's like, well, where is the other traffic? And then this woman screaming in the front. It's very distracting trying to drive. So then we're slowly backing up. She starts walking along with us. She's walking with us with the car, and then she starts pounding her hands on the hood of the car.
Still wants to get hit.
Fucking run me over. And honestly, in that moment, my first thought was, well, let us back up.
Yeah.
Let us get a little bit, and then we'll really hit you. And so then we're at a stop, and we're like, what the fuck do we do? I start screaming at her, get the fuck out of the road. What is wrong with you? She then locks eyes on me, like eyeball to eyeball, and throws her cell phone as hard as she can against the windshield. It bounces off the windshield, doesn't crack it, leaves a little smudge, and then it
hard enough that the paint from the phone.
Absolutely. Hard enough that it just smudges like a little bit of silver off, and then it bounces off into the next lane. Lunatic that she is, she decides she's going to go after the cell phone. She goes running after the cell phone. Then I start screaming, go, put it in drive. Tom slams it in drive, floors it. Then we start going. And then we're just trying to watch out of the side of the... And then you just see her heading towards another set of headlights.
Yes, absolutely.
And couldn't find anything in the news about it.
Harrowing
Keep in mind, though, I drive a Nissan Versa that had 5 people in it. So when I floored it to get out of there, we gently accelerated away.
Motorboat.
A brisk escape.
No wake on the lake.
And, I hopefully...
Here's the thing.
You can't understand how shook up we all were. That it was one of the most disturbing things that's ever happened to me in my life. And instantly I was like, all I kept saying was good job, Tom, good job. Just great job. Just trying to calm the situation down or something. But, we were shook up. We were
just asked as someone begging us to kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know how sure she was now because she was concerned about her phone. Someone that's about to die.
Yeah.
She wanted to die, but until she did, she'd like to have access to the phone.
That's true.
Right.
What if people should maybe email us stories about being in transit to or from a wrestling show?
Oh, there's got to be great stories.
There's got to be somebody with a story for us.
because you can't top that.
Can you empathize with us as well as you can sympathize with us? That's the question.
I mean, by any chance of the imagination, did anybody else leaving the PWG show
there we go.
run into her?
I think that could very well be a possibility.
Was anybody else on the road who saw that happen?
Did someone finally run her down?
You see that, like, when you get faced with one of those horror movie moments in real life, you always think you're going to be this, like, ninja and you're going to be able to get out of there real fast and everything.
Well, you were.
It's so surreal, though, that you can't actually believe it's happening when it's like, oh, my God, like, this is getting serious.
I mean, really what it was when we were driving away, it was trying to let it sink in, like, that actually happened.
Yeah. It's one of those experiences where if we were allowed to go back and watch footage of it, I feel like the length of time...
We wouldn't even believe how quick it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole thing probably took place over the course of a minute. And that might
be...
Is that long?
No. I would say it was 30 seconds at best. She comes crossing the street, she walks up, we try to drive around her, then she is in front of us, then we try to back up a little bit, we can't back up, then she's slamming on the hood, then I fucking scream at her, she throws the phone, it bounces off, and we drive away.
That bitch never sold out the Superdome.
Oh, my Lord!
But that is one of the most memorable now PWG shows we'll ever have.